Hey you guys, in today's video I have a really easy recipe, perfect for if you have leftover chicken. This is tortitas de pollo. It's easy. I'm going to show you how to do it. I needed some non-copyrighted music, but I couldn't find any, so I had to make my own, and I have no idea what I'm doing. For this recipe, I used 5 chile guajillo, 4 Roma tomatoes, 2 cups of shredded chicken, 2 cloves of garlic, 5 eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of oregano, and a couple tablespoons of oil to fry up the little tortitas. So this is the chile guajillo. That's what I'm going to be using, as well as a couple of these tomatoes. If I was using Roma, that would probably be about 3 or 4. But this is what I have in the freezer right now. And for the guajillo peppers, just clean these out. So I'm going to be using, these ones are kind of small, so it's about 5 small ones. I'm going to take this over to the sink and wash it. Then I will put it on the stove to boil. Okay, so here I have some leftover chicken, and I just boiled it real quick. I didn't even season it. I tossed some pepper in there when I was cooking it. So I'm just going to shred this up really well. And this is a great dinner idea when you have any leftover chicken or just a little bit of chicken, because you can make it into a whole meal, something different. And just shred this all up into small little pieces. This is a great way to use like any leftover chicken, but this one I cooked something else and I only had like 2 leg quarters left. It wasn't really enough to make a full meal, so I just cooked it up and I'm shredding it for these little tortitas. Okay, now to the shredded chicken, we're gonna add some salt and pepper if you want, as well as some eggs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Then I'm going to add some salt, and you can add pepper if you want. I didn't add pepper, and then I'm just going to mix these up. And it looks like I'm going to add another egg. I want this to be a very liquidy sort of, so that I can spoon it onto my coman. So once it's like this, I'm going to take it over to the stove and we're going to start frying it into little cakes.
Cake.
Okay, here is my pan, and the oil is getting hot. Should probably turn it down. And the tomatoes and the chili is boiled and pretty soft. So I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of these tortitas cooked first. And to do that, I'm going to use a spoon and just spoon some little cakes on here. Okay, while those are cooking, we're gonna work on our salsa. So here is the chili and the tomato.
Chili and tomato.
And we're gonna add all of this into the blender. I'm also gonna be adding 3 large things of garlic right into there. Can't Don't forget the salt. Let's see, I'll go ahead and start with one teaspoon. So that was half a teaspoon. And here is the other half of a teaspoon. And I'm also gonna add some cumin. And I'll just do half a teaspoon of cumin. I'll go ahead and put about half a teaspoon of black pepper in there as well. And half a teaspoon of oregano. So then back to the stove to flip our little tortitas. I think I already flipped them over, and so they're cooked on both sides now. And I'm sorry, I don't think that I grabbed that onto the video, but you can see how they're nice and toasted on both sides, and so you just want to keep doing that with the rest of the batter. Okay, so we're gonna blend this. So then I have this oil hot and the salsa is all blended, so I'm just going to add this in and start frying our salsa. And we're going to fry this up and then we can start adding our tortitas into the salsa. So we have the salsa in the oil. And I am just gonna give it a little bit of a stir and let it come up to a simmer and leave it there for a while. In the meantime, we can move on to our tortitas. These are just about ready to flip. So I'm gonna flip them over. And they should be nice and toasted on the other side, nice and fried. And just flip them over and keep them to cook on the other side. I'm gonna try to squeeze some more on here to cook so that way I can get dinner done faster. Yes, babe? I'm going to add a little bit of water to the salsa just so that there's going to be enough to cover all the tortitas. And that's basically it. We can start adding in the little tortitas and we'll leave it to simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes para que agarre el sabor. Don't forget to always check what it tastes like first before you serve it. If it needs salt or more spices. I think it needs a little bit more salt. Okay, so finally it's time to serve, and I'm just gonna dig up the ones from the bottom that have been soaking in the salsa the longest and serve it up on a plate. And tonight I am serving it with some refried beans, and I want to get a little bit of this extra salsa on there. and then just put the beans, and that's it. It's a very simple dinner. Just put some beans on the side to kind of fill up the plate. I am topping it with some fresh chopped onions, as well as a little bit of sour cream, and that is it. Very easy, very delicious, and it's not very time consuming. It kind of seemed like a long time because I had a lot of tortitas to make, but you can make this in a smaller quantity. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe, and I really appreciate you guys watching the video. If you liked it, please don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the channel. I needed some non-copyrighted music, but I couldn't find any, so I had to make my own, and I have no idea what I'm doing.